Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learning League Together. I am Walford, and today I am joined by Eugene Yackel. Introduce yourself, Eugene.
Hello, my name is Eugene Yackel. That's my in-game name. I'm not going to reveal my real name on the internet. I'm a current D1 support main. Don't look at my match history because I was a lot higher before. And I'm going to talk to you about some support 101 tips, how you guys can hopefully climb with support. Um, Now, these tips are going to be a bit general, but you can apply them to your gameplay each and every time you queue up. These will be things to constantly consider as League of Legends is uh, a game where you can win just off of a brain difference. So, disclaimer before we go, I'm going to be aiming these tips at around iron to gold players, and even some players might not think about these things on the regular. Also, huge asterisks. Another disclaimer is I would not strongly advise to even play support if you're attempting to climb. If climbing is your main objective, support is very difficult to do so because as a support, you have a ton of agency in the start of the game, but then you have less control as the game goes on, and you have to put more trust in your teammates to carry you from the mid game onwards. Like they have to be the ones to smite objectives or do the damage. It's very difficult for you to carry entire games. But let's get started on what you can actually do to set yourself up and your team, because this is in fact a team game. That is something that not everyone realizes. It is a team game. So how you can set yourself and your team up for the most possible amount of success. So first and foremost, here's your very first tip. This is the most important tip and the one that I recommend to everyone and everything on how you can climb. Mute all at the beginning of every single game. Click that enter button and type /mute all, and games will be a lot more pleasant, and you can focus a lot easier on what you can do as a player. Now, we'll be moving on to our second most main topic, and that is when and where to ward. As a support player, this is your main and primary objective as a support is to provide vision and peel for your carries. Uh, Now, this is a very not as easy a topic as you think. There's a lot of minutia, as you could say, into when you are allowed to and where you should be warding. So, firstly, there are two types of wards, green wards specifically. There's the trinket and support wards. Trinkets, the ones you get at the start of the game, the yellow ones, last about 90 seconds, 90 to 100 seconds for the large majority of the game. So it's a minute and a half. Support items last 2.5 minutes or 150 seconds, whichever you want. So those are very important key timings you should know. So before you get your support quest item complete, you'll be using a large majority of your trinket wards, which is a minute and a half. So when you should be warding is you should be warding roughly 90 seconds before every objective. So that's every dragon. This little guy right here. Oh, there we go. I'm not very proficient in this program, so excuse me. So as a bot laner, this is the part of the map. How do I draw a circle? Yeah, this is the majority of the map in which you'll be playing your game in, and for the first 15 minutes. That's quite. Yeah, you guys get the visual. So dragon is going to be the large primary objective for the large majority of your laning phase. So how do you set up for that? Well, you should attempt to ward with about 2 minutes left until dragon spawns, and make sure you back. Very, very key and very important. You should be backing after you place your wards a minute to at the absolute latest 45 seconds until dragon spawns, so that you can go back to base and walk all the way out. I don't know if you guys probably see my cursor, but so you guys can walk all the way out, or this way, depends which way you're coming, so that you can use your vision to set up, to set up for dragon. Right? If you have wards, where the fuck is the ward button? All right, there we go. If you have wards here, here, and here, if you're playing on blue side, there's no possible way for them to get in if you are standing champions. If you are standing, whoops, that's still the word. You're standing here the entire time, right? The enemy team has to be walking into you. This is the main reason why vision is so important as a support. You have to set your team up for success, because if an enemy team is walking into a fog of war, they are more likely to get caught. Blah blah blah. Simple stuff. They die. You guys kill them and go get the objective for free. But yeah, so you have backed and you have set up your wards, and then you have backed, and now you're re-entering the area with new fresh words. So let's say if these are your words that are set up right here. If these are your words, 1, 2, and 3. Pretty sure you guys can see my cursor. And if you have made it before anyone's on the vision, you can actually creep up your vision to go like here, here, and maybe down here is a little less important. You probably want to keep this word too, because they can still always come from the mid lane. So if you keep these 3 words, you have deeper vision, and deeper vision means you learn information sooner. League of Legends is a game all about information, how you can use your information. These lines are quite distracting. Let me get rid of those. So yeah, this is basically just very simple stuff on how you want to set up vision and when to do so. To highlight, to recap, when to do so is before the objective. But a good question is if you don't have the objective already set up, like maybe you guys were fighting topside or whatever, blah blah blah. They don't have the proper vision set up, and dragon is spawning in 15 seconds. You have to be a little more wary if you don't see anyone if you have no information on where the enemy team is. Let's say your guy, oh, that was the delete button. If you have this guy here, if you're coming in here, and all of this is fog of war, you need to be a little careful on where you go. So you might want to ward here. You might want to place a ward here just so you don't get caught, or here, right? Like if you're walking in this way, or if it's reversed, you're coming in this way, you might want to ward here or here before you see anyone, so you don't get caught. Very important stuff, because if you get caught, very simple stuff, your team is down a man, and you're most likely not going to get the objective 55% of the time at least. So that's what you do. You want to keep very cautious. You want to be, as a support, you want to be very cautious in this kind of stuff when you're walking into fog of war, because supports are often the players that get caught because they're the ones who need war. So you need to be always cognizant of that. If there's no objective up, so if you see a little dragon here, very season 7-esque dragon, and there's no dragon up, when should you be warding, and where should you be warding? Excellent question, me. Excellent question, you guys. Basically, a large generalization is if you are down here and you have pushed up to the lane, you pushed up and the minions are here. God damn it, I keep forgetting how to draw a circle. Minions are here. You have roughly 15 to 35 seconds to roam before the minions come back and crash, and you need to re-manage the wave. Now, this is roaming in and of itself is a whole entire topic, so I won't go too deep into that. But so if you're little bard over here, and you run up this way, and you just go check, see how your mid laner's doing, you can place a ward. You should always be placing a ward at the start, or at least always at the end of when your roam timer is up. And where you should be warding, if you're on red side, so if you're starting this side, this ward right here, great ward. Great ward, because if the mid laner wants to be roaming down to your lane, this ward will often always see them unless they go this way. If you don't want to do this ward is also a great ward to place, because this covers both, but you get information slightly later. So that's the trade-off.
Just to clarify for everyone there, that's if you're on blue side.
Yes. If
not if you're
wait, is this not red side?
That's blue side.
Oh, duped. Okay. You know what? Yes. So if you're on this side, these are the words where you want to be placing. So do that. This word here, and a very little fun fact about this one. This word right here needs to be placed at the left side of this bush. Almost always you want to be placing on the left side. I can't show you obviously in game because we're using a program, but think about it like this. You want to be placing it in this bush as left as possible, because if you place it lackadaisically here or something, if you place it there, this little spot right here can be avoided. This will be out of your vision. so that like your mid laner can get ganked from this way if the jungler's over here in your jungle. But this very just important, very simple stuff. And similarly on this side, you want to be placing it to the very right bush because then this part of the this part is in vision, so you'll be able to see the entire time what's going. But that's neither here nor there. That's on the other side of the map. We don't focus on the other side of the map. So yeah, so this is a very important ward. Some ward tips. There are plenty of really difficult wards that you guys can place. Like there's a spot here. If you're here, you can actually ward this bush. It is very difficult to do so. Similarly, stuff like if you're here, oops, that's not Bard. If you're here, what the fuck? If you're here, you can actually ward this bush without having to go all the way around. Those are very, very, very difficult wards to master. I still fuck up a couple times. There are plenty of videos on it, like X Special and Core JJ have YouTube tutorials on how to do so. But those are the specific words. But if you, this one, the tree, like this
So
one.
so if you are on red side, which is the other
red
side, yeah,
This is right. Yeah, yeah.
and you're stuck under your tower and you're expecting that you could be getting a gank coming
Oh,
from
this
river.
one right here.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah. This one's actually the easiest one to
Mhm.
do. Again, you can find a pro player to do this. If you stand right in this crevasse right here, and you place your mouse cursor right, I'm just gonna use Bard anyways, right about here, maybe a little further down. Maybe it's about here.
It's pretty much that whole ravine.
It's about anywhere on this waterfall. You'll be able to actually place a ward here. The ward will come onto the other side. Disclaimer, I suggest practicing these wards, watching the video. They're about 10 minutes long or 7 to 10 minutes long, and then go into practice school and practice them. And you can practice them a lot. Because like I said, this one comes naturally right here. This one I almost never get. Actually, you'll always just end up never going. So I just the 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 cheaper route and just place a word here, or I actually do walk around. So that word is very, very, very helpful though, because that will obviously give you information if anyone's coming for a lane gank. And if you don't want to do that one, you can always just ward here. Here's an amazing ward spot because this one gives vision of it won't give vision of the camps most of the time, but it'll give vision of the jungler on the camps. And you'll always see the jungler come in. Let's say the jungler's a Mumu. You'll always see the jungler come in this way or this way. It doesn't always give vision of both. I don't think it actually can give vision of both camps, but it'll almost always give vision of one camp. Yada yada yada. But if you do this word and not this word, because you wouldn't have both words there. That wouldn't make sense because this word is if you don't have this word. Does that make sense? Because you don't need double up on information. So if you have this word though, try to get a word in the lane brush, because then there's no possible way you get lane ganked, right? So if we're gonna do a generalized what it looks like and what you should be having worded almost at all points of the game. So yada yada, you're having fun. And this is again still on red side. We can look at blue side words too. You are Bardo. You are playing on this side. Blah blah blah. You have Ashe. You're facing Alistair, and you're facing AD carry Annie for whatever reason. I just don't want to keep searching. You go to Rome. If you're on red side, you should have this worded, and this worded. These are the safest words you can always get. Very rarely will you be able to get ganked if these are words set up. Actually, I don't think it's feasibly possible unless like it's a Rek'Sai who goes this way. Yeah, like that is, and at that point, fuck it. They deserve to kill you at that point. They dedicate that amount of time, they deserve it. But these are the general words in which you should be having on red side. It gives you tons of vision, and you can obtain that through if you just push up. Oopsies, bye bird. If you just push up, like you guys have, stop giving me more bards. If you push up, you guys are pushing them under their tower. Very obviously, god damn it. Okay. Very easily have a word here, and then you just walk over here, place the word there. And then if you have the next wave, if you push them under the tower, the next wave, you have 15 15 seconds to 45 seconds. Like I said, on your roam timer, you place a vision here to give helpfulness to your mid laner. It's about setting up success for your team. Now, if you're on blue side, I guess I probably could have kept those guys. Oh, fuck. So if you're on blue side and you have the AD carry Annie for whatever reason, and you're facing Ashe, Alistar, 2 Ashes and 1 Alistar, best wards to have here. And these ones take a little more depth because blue side has more, like this thing here is the same on the other side of the map for top laner, so it's like a trade-off. So you have a little more work on this side because you almost always want to ward this bush up here and pixel brush. You don't really particularly need pixel brush, but you can always put it here. It's less important on this side. And this is remember, this is all for laning. Objective play is you need to be walking in. Like if Dragon was coming up, these are safe wards to have for objective play. It's very safe wards to have. You might want to subtract this ward here and place it up here for objective play, so then they can't enter this area. Give me my circle. This area without being on vision, or this area, I guess, without being on vision. That's for objective. Very simple stuff. I hope I'm not confusing anyone with this kind of mumbo jumbo. But these are very basic wards, very basic ward patterns for support players. Little fun tip. Almost always when you go back to base, buy 2 pink wards. 2 pink wards pink wards another very large topic, not smaller topic in this short discussion topic, where we can just have a quick little chat about that. Pink wards. There's no pink word specifically icon here. We'll use Evelynn for whatever reason. Evelynn is the pink word. Red side, you want to place a pink word here. Most of the time, so your jungler can enter the river without being unseen. Here, because like I said, it is a very prominent ward spot here, so you can contest vision. Or here. These are all very safe pink spots. And if you're going to do dragon, you want to place a pink word. But usually your jungler has a pink ward and places the pink ward there. But again, at low elo, I don't particularly know. These are all safe. These are all safe pink word spots. For the opposite side, I've lost my colors. This is red side. This is red side. Pink wards can be placed here. Here now, because that is now a bush. I forgot that was a bush. Or here. Those are all the best pink ward spots for red side. And those will give you the most amount of vision. If you're really pushing them ahead, if you're really in there, you can place a pink ward there. That will often get cleaned out. But always, main tip, always lead base with 2 pink wards. Vision is the strongest thing in this game. Information is the strongest thing in this game. And that's why you, as a support, have the most amount of agency in that part of the game. Which is why most supports will end the game, hopefully, with the most vision score. That is the end goal. So, if that was an okay amount of information, I don't know how much more I can give you guys on warding. This is for your first 15 minutes. The other side of the map is a little more difficult. You have to be a little more wary when it's Baron time, because you as a support are the least amount of income, so you have the least amount of stats because you're the lowest level most of the time, so you can easily get picked off. So you got to be a lot more hesitant. You in order to obtain Baron vision, you often have to go back to base at least 2 times to push your wards up. So if you're on blue side, so you'd often place a pink ward here or here and here, like ward, pink ward, regular ward, to know that you're not going to get caught. You can do whatever, you can have fun, push them anyways in, and then you reset again, and then you replace these wards with deeper vision wards, like here, or here, there, and there. Like I'm saying, so like vision is often you often want to imagine the vision as a line, whereas this line you get more map controlled than this line, where the first wave of wards was. Does that make sense? And similarly, if you're here, this has more map pressure if you're on red side than if your wards were just here. Right. So try to place all three of your wards and try to visualize the line in which they make. And you often want to, if you're winning, uh, continuously push that line deeper into the jungle, like here, here. You know what I mean? Try to visualize the line. All makes sense. A lot of kind of looks like a crazy person. Looks like a conspiracy board diagram right now.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
think that we can transition off of this here is what is the difference in between pushing up your line as an enchanter or as a more tanky type support? Like what additional requirements are there?
Excellent question, Mr. Welford. This is the hardest thing to grasp as actually just a League of Legends player, but especially for a support player, is what's called lane priority, or giving reading what a lane is like. So this will take up a large majority of the discussion. Is think of it as a circle, and this takes hundreds of hours, no, hundreds of games, thousands of games to get it like that. I have been playing since season 3, so this type of stuff comes a little more naturally to me. So, but we're going to think of lane priority, so whether or not you should be winning the lane, 55% at least, as a circle. So we are going to, this might take up a little amount of time. Champions like Nami. What the fuck is Nami? I can't search, can I? LMN Nami. Okay, so Nami. I don't know how this is going to be the best way to do this, actually. We're just going to create a new slide, and we're going to delete this, actually. So Nami. Nami is a sustained character. So you play sustained. Nami is a sustained character. Sustained characters often are better than poke characters. And poke characters are like Karma. Karma is a character of a poke character. Okay, so this is poke. Oh, there's still my words over there. Poke. Poke characters often beat peelers or CC characters. So characters like Alistair or Leona or Braum, right? These characters are the peelers. And now peelers often do better than engaged supports. And engaged supports are characters like Nautilus and Thresh, and characters like Blitzcrank is another one. Like hookers, essentially. Hookers are most notably engagers, and they struggle against peelers because as soon as you engage as a Nautilus, if I was facing an Alistair, as soon as you engage, the Alistair will go on your ADC and do more damage. So and then engagers are better than sustain champions. I don't know if I can do this. Boop. You know what? Oh, I can. Okay. Wow, this is a mess. You know what? We're just not going to use that tool. No. So think of it like this. Just think of it like this. Bop, bop. Ignore the arrow. And then these ones are better than these ones. Again, conspiracy board diagram. But essentially, this is a simplification, an oversimplification. But generally, a generalization. This is how lanes go. So let's take a deeper look into how it plays out in lane. Boop, 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 boop. No, fuck it. We just gonna go down lane. So if you are Alistair versus a losing lane matchup. So if you're an Alistair versus Karma, and let's say ADCs don't particularly matter. Actually, Ezreal's a quite difficult lane for this, but neither here nor there. I was trying to thought. Anyways, you will not generally have lane priority in this because melee characters will often lose the push on range characters. Very rarely. Alistair especially. Alistair is one of the most egregious type of this. He should never ever be able to hit level 2 first because he just doesn't have very good level 1. But so this is a losing lane matchup. When minions come up, I don't know if I can get to minions. Can I? Probably somewhere around here. Oh yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get to lane. You both leashed your junglers. and you both enter lane. You both have entered lane, blah, blah, blah. Karma, big scary for Alistair. Alistair, a main, just think of it like this. A main thing, most of the time, if you have leashed your jungler, these 3 melees will be halfway dead. Never, ever, and I stress this, never, ever as a Targon champion hit the first wave of minions. Never, ever. That is one of the largest mistakes you can make as a beginning support player. I know it's free gold, blah, blah, blah. You will never, ever, ever hit level 2 first if you do that. So minions are dead, minions are dead, minions are dead, blah, blah, blah. They'll oft, oopsies. They'll oft, can I click again? Can I move camera? I can't. Wow, that's a mess. They will often get the lane much ahead. And most of the time, again, generalization, minions will be left here on wave 2 because you can't clear the waves fast enough on the first wave to hit it under tower. So the minions will be here, meeting here. This is when you hit as much as possible, and you will lose health. You will lose health to auto attacks, to spells. You should never, ever drop below 60% health because then you will not be able to engage. But try your best to hit level 2 first. Once you hit level 2 first, almost always just engage. As an Alistair, this type of thing, he's gone again. As an Alistair, as a losing lane matchup, level 2 is very crucial. Now, if you don't get level 2 because you guys were not hitting minions, blah, 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 lane priority, that happens, whatever. You take the passive approach. You take the passive approach for a large majority of the lane. So you guys are under tower now. They will have roam timers. So you need to be the one to ping when your lane partner is gone. You need to communicate. Again, they're muted, but you still need to be the one to communicate in terms of pings. Because God damn it, I keep doing that. Annie, fuck it. Actually, Bard was actually an example. They have lane party. Now this is in a losing matchup. Winning matchups, it just comes in natural pacing. So if a winning matchup, what did I say? Alistair beats characters like Nautilus.
Hookers,
Yeah, hookers. Those damn hookers. Okay, so we'll get Nautilus or Thresh. Thresh is easier to see. Ezreal's a little more difficult because he's a very, very slippery champion. So it's very difficult to actually get on Ezreal. But let's say, for all intents and purposes, this is a winning lane matchup. They have moved back here. There's 2 Threshes. I'm not going to do it. There's 2 Threshes here. You have a this comes with natural understanding of the characters, a zone of danger. A zone of danger. So Alistair roughly has like this amount of zone of danger for his WQ combo. Again, we're not on actual league, so I can't show you in game. But should a character ever enter, just even for a quick second, that's when you know you should engage. You should, if feeling your zone of danger, if you don't want them in your zone, right? So you should be the one to engage on them, and then almost always do you want to be engaging on the ADC unless it's a squishy champion. This is where like the big old circle comes in. Characters like Nami, Sona, Karma, Zyra, just enchanters and squishy characters can easily be the ones to go in on. Like you can blow up any character as an Alistair that doesn't have Aftershock. So just think of it like that. So if you see the characters that don't have Aftershock, go in on those characters. Otherwise, try to always go on the ADC. Again, if it's an Aftershock character and an Ezreal, you probably want to look more to roam.
Does that change if the squishy champion has already used their spells?
In like lane put, yeah,
lane.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So characters like, let's say we have Lulu instead of Lulu instead of Thresh. These type of lanes often go even. You won't have the push party, but often go even. But let's say Lulu has, Caitlyn has auto attacked Ezreal once, and Lulu out of reflex shields Ezreal. You have now what's called a window of opportunity. This is a very, very crucial part about just laning in general. You can apply this to any lane actually. You have 8 seconds roughly. 8 seconds of complete free time where they are at an inherent disadvantage. And if you have not used any of your spells, they are going to lose the exchange, and that is your time to go in. Characters like Rel. Rel is a great example, actually, of that's why Rel is actually quite difficult for you newer players or not as more experienced players. She goes in, she W's you, she hits you, she E's you. You have lost half your health. Rel then walks away at 250 move speed. That is your time to beat the absolute shit out of Rel. Auto attack if you're like a range character. Auto attack as much as possible. Thresh is a great example. Rakan's a great example. Use your spells as they're walking away. If you're allowed, like if you're too low, don't bother. Try to put as much return damage as possible. But never ever, never ever, if a character uses their cooldowns on you, just let them do that. That is how you just lose. Some characters do more damage up front, like
Karma.
yeah, Karma's great. If she mantra Qs you, you get hit. Fuck, that hurt. Ow, you just lost 150 damage. Great. You now get to walk up and scare. Oh, actually, hookers are just the best example of this. Actually, just the best example of this. Blitzcrank. Scariest motherfucker. That motherfucker is the one to cause most of my losing games. Because, it is hard. Don't worry. If you guys get hooked by Blitz, not a big deal. But if he misses the hook, if he misses hook at level 1, level 2, or level 3, that is, I think, a 14-second cooldown. You just walk past your entire minion wave. You walk past the entire minion wave, and you just increase your zone of danger. So Blitzcrank has missed his hook. He has 0 lane priority for the next 14 seconds. That means if minions are here, 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 and here, and yours are here, here, and here, and Blitzcrank has walked past his minions. You guys are over here, right? Okay, we're gonna get rid of this zone of danger. And okay, bye Israel. And Blitzcrank has walked past his minions to hook, and he has missed. He has gone wide. He scored a field goal. He now has 14 seconds where he must walk back behind his minions, and you have free range to walk past your minions and that helps with like zoning off experience, zoning off CS, like just general pressure. And if at this moment, in this 14 seconds, when you're walking past, is getting Scuttle Crab, like if your jungler is Scuttle Crab and your jungler is fighting their jungler, guess what? You get to move first. I don't have a jungler. Okay. Your jungler is a Mumu and their jungler is Mundo and they're fighting over Scuttle Crab. Guess what? You get to move first because they have lost what's called lane priority. And that is a very difficult thing to grasp and is a very, very hard and is very in depth. And we go on for another 2.5 hours on this type of stuff and is all intuition. But generally, so to recap, let's do a quick little recap. Levels 1 to 3, never hit the first wave of minions. For Targon stacks, you do want to auto attack to get your lane pushing. Always try to hit level 2 first if you can. If you hit level 2 first before the enemy, engage. If they hit level 2 first, you just take a little back seat for the first, then you reset the minion wave. And wave management is not something I can tell you guys about. That is a whole other separate issue. Look it up tutorials. Wave management important in every lane that you come across in League of Legends. But let's say level 4, Blitzcrank has missed his hook. You have now your window of opportunity in which you can take lane priority. And it's just small, like League of Legends, very, very rarely a game of you have killed your laner, you now win the game. It is more often than not these very, very small, minuscule things compounded over time in which you will put the enemy in a losing position in which they will be forced to, let's say, walk into fog of war, engage in a bad engage, be pushed under tower, reset at improper times. All those things, you are putting pressure on them to lose lane priority or whatever. And those things compounded over time will allow you to dive, kill the enemy laner, set up vision, get objectives, right? It is almost never you have 2v2 at the enemy laner. There you go. Like you have 2v2 the enemy laner, you win the game. Very rarely is it that. It is setting yourself and your lane partner up for success in which you force the enemy laners into uncomfortable positions or the enemy team into uncomfortable positions in which you can take advantage of. So level 1 to 3s are those type of things on why you can start if you lose level 1 to 3, game is not over. Do not worry. You are at a little bit of a disadvantage, but you just start a little later in trying to obtain lane priority. Like characters, for example, like uh, Leona into Karma, for example, loses lane 1 to 3. But once you hit level 6, Morgana. Wait, did I say that? No, sorry,
Leona Karma. Yeah.
Yeah, Morgana into Karma. My apologies. Morgana into Karma. Leona works fine too, actually. Morgana into Karma, you'll lose lane, but level 6, you'll almost always have kill pressure. Because Morgana, if you just flash onto the enemy ADC or support, you can 100-0. You can actually, as Morgana, just get him down to 25% health on your own with Ignite. Like learning those types of lane cadences is where if you lose level 1 to 3, not a big deal. You just got to know when your champion itself spikes and when theirs is not as strong. That is mostly, I've touched on the 1 to 3. Level 6 is 4 to 6 is a little just basically whether or not you get ganked or not, which you should not be getting ganked if you have proper vision. Shaking my finger at you guys if you guys get ganked. But yeah, so and then that is just laning phase. That again, once you exit laning phase, whole different discussion on how to support. We can do part 2, part 3, part 4 on that kind of stuff. But laning phase is, I hope this was a serviceable enough guide to just think about these things next time you queue up, to make a little mental checkbox of, can I roam right now? Where should I roam? Or where should I ward as I'm roaming? Do they have cooldowns up? No. Can I engage safely? Yes, I engage. League of Legends is all about zeros and ones and if, ands, and ors conversations. And yeah, I don't code. I don't know if that's, coding, computer stuff, whatever. But yeah, so just going into your next games, think about these mental checklists. And more often than not, if you focus on your improvement, you'll be able to, shocker, improve. That's why mute all is the number one tip that I can give you, because most of the time, other people don't know what's going on. Gonna be honest. Most of the time, they're just as lost as everyone else. But if you focus on generally improving using these type of mental checklists, it might take 50 games, 100 games, 200 games, 500 games, no judgment, whatever. If you ended Silver 4 last season, but you make it to Silver 1, you have objectively improved. And then maybe next season you can actually hit Gold 4, right? Maybe you start Silver 3 and you hit Gold 1, right? Those types of small, I was Silver in my first season. I got to Plat, and then hence around I've hovered around Diamond, Masters, Grandmasters. But it's learning over time of what you can and cannot do, and that's where the beauty of League of Legends and laning comes into. So yeah, any questions?
Nope. I think you covered it. Thank you for those inspiring words too.
It was a lot of word vomit, so yeah. I apologize, but
Okay.
I hope it was enough to think about.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for everyone who's watching right now.
Oh, and a little disclaimer: if you guys want to add me and ask me any more questions, if anyone wants to add me, Walford often asks me questions. I'm completely okay to share my little bit of knowledge. Yeah, Eugene Yako, I'm Yon. Ask any questions. I have no problem with answering any questions.
Okay. And with that, we're going to say goodbye.
Thank you, Walford.